Nauru, the world's most isolated and obese nation. Welcome to the fascinating yet heartbreaking story of Nauru, an island once awash with unimaginable wealth and prosperity but now plunged into crisis. Imagine a place that has gone from being one of the world's richest countries to struggling with crippling debt, environmental degradation, and human rights abuses. In today's video, we take you on a journey through the ups and downs of this tiny Pacific island and discover how its once thriving phosphate industry led to both its rise and fall. From wealth to poverty, from hope to despair, Nauru's story is a reminder of the fragility of prosperity and the human cost of rampant exploitation. Stay tuned as we explore how the island went from paradise to prison and what the future may hold for its people. Nauru is a tiny remote island in the Pacific Ocean known for its stunning coral reefs and rugged beauty. It's one of the least visited places globally due to its isolation. Reaching it requires long flights with no natural harbors and only one airport. Once wealthy from phosphate mining, Nauru experienced rapid environmental and economic decline. Now, it faces severe challenges, including being the most obese country in the world and struggling with the health and social issues. Despite these hardships, Nauru's unique history and wild beauty make it a hidden gem for adventurous travelers. Nauru, the third smallest nation in the world at just 21 kilometers, offers a unique experience where you can explore the entire country in one afternoon. With its compact community, scenic coastline, and a 30 kilometers road encircling the island, Nauru feels like a hidden paradise. But beneath its serene beauty lies a fascinating history. Once the richest nation on Earth due to phosphate mining, Nauru now faces environmental devastation and economic decline. Its charming 4 kilometers railway, built in 1975 to transport phosphate, remains a poignant reminder of the island's boom and bust. Despite its challenges, Nauru is a treasure trove of stories, a forgotten paradise where time seems to stand still. Curious about this mysterious island and its secrets? Dive in to discover the remarkable tale of Nauru's rise, fall, and enduring spirit. Nauru's incredible story is one of extreme wealth and decline, mystery, and uniqueness. Once prospering from abundant phosphate resources, this small island now stands as a testament to its past glory. What's more, Nauru breaks all conventions by having no official capital city. Instead, Yaran, a peaceful coastline district, acts as the nation's center, blending politics and daily life like no other place on Earth. Visitors rarely set foot on this isolated island, but those who do find an unforgettable mix of intrigue and resilience. From its narrow roads and modest buildings to its tales of dramatic economic shifts, Nauru is a land of contrasts, defying expectations at every turn. Curious about life on this unique Pacific island? Let's uncover the secrets of this fascinating nation together. Nauru is indeed a hidden Pacific island with a fascinating story. Its status as a paradise visited by only around 200 tourists annually is tied to its extreme isolation. Here are key reasons for its obscurity and unique characteristics. Isolation and limited accessibility. Only one airline operates flights to Nauru with limited schedules. This adds logistical and financial challenges for potential visitors. The process of obtaining a visa can be complicated, deterring many. Unique visitor experience. Visiting Nauru places you in an exclusive group of explorers. Fewer people have visited this land than climbed Mount Everest. This makes it one of the world's rarest travel experiences. A nation without an army. Nauru relies on Australia for defense under a decades-long agreement. Without a military, Nauru invests its resources into education, healthcare, and community development, emphasizing peace and self-reliance. Economic and environmental transformation. Once rich due to phosphate mining, Nauru experienced severe environmental damage and economic decline after phosphate resources were depleted. This transformation highlights the challenges of resources dependency and the importance of sustainable practices. Cultural and geopolitical significance. Nauru's geopolitical role, including its agreements to host Australia's offshore refugee processing centers, adds complexity to its modern narrative. Despite these hurdles, Nauru offers visitors a peaceful, untouched environment and a glimpse into a nation navigating significant historical and cultural challenges. For more in-depth details, additional travel resources and official government pages can guide prospective visitors through the planning process. Nauru, a small island in the Pacific Ocean, is known for its tranquility, lack of military forces, and unique cultural identity. Instead of maintaining a military, Nauru relies on Australia for defense while focusing its limited resources on community needs like education and healthcare. This has allowed the country to maintain internal peace with a small, effective police force that is deeply integrated into the local community. However, Nauru faces significant health challenges. A cultural preference for larger body size once symbolized success, but in recent decades, this has led to a health crisis. The depletion of phosphate reserves, the island's primary economic resource, resulted in a reliance on imported processed foods, contributing to high obesity rates and diabetes among 40% of the population. The country also struggles with one of the highest smoking rates globally. Despite these challenges, efforts to combat health issues, including promoting traditional diets and physical activity, are underway. The resilience of Nauru's people is evident as they navigate these complex issues while preserving their unique identity. Nauru was once a very wealthy island in the Pacific, often referred to as the Kuwait of Pacific. This wealth came from phosphate, which is a valuable resource formed from seabird dropping over countries. In the 1970s, Nauru discovered this white gold and it turned the country into a prosperous empire almost overnight. In 1975, the average Nauruan earned 3 times more than an American. The island resembled a mini Las Vegas with luxurious cars and an extravagant lifestyle. But this wealth didn't last. The phosphate was quickly depleted, and what was once a rich paradise turned into a debt-ridden wasteland. The once thriving island is now filled with abandoned cars and crumbling buildings. The environmental damage caused by phosphate mining has left Nauru struggling to recover. What once seemed like an endless dream turned into an economic and environmental nightmare. The country's rapid rise and fall are a stark reminder of dangers of overexploiting natural resources. By the 1960s, the island's once beautiful landscape was altered beyond recognition, with deep pits replacing tropical forests. Despite early warnings, the exploitation continued until the situation became so dire that the Australian Prime Minister in 1962 even suggested relocating Nauru's entire population. Ultimately, the people of Nauru choose to stay and face the consequences of their rapid wealth. By the 1980s, the phosphate deposits ran dry and Nauru entered a period of economic collapse. A secondary phosphate deposit provided brief hope, but its too ran out, leaving the country in a devastating situation. Today, Nauru struggles to recover from both its environmental devastation and economic collapse. The story of Nauru serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of over-relying on a single natural resource and the long-term effects of environmental degradation. Nauru's challenges continued after its phosphate reserves ran out. The island faced widespread corruption, economic collapse, and environmental damage that crippled its fishing industry. With an 80% unemployment rate and dwindling resources, Nauru's situation grew increasingly dire. Then, in 2001, Australia proposed turning Nauru into a detention center for refugees trying to reach Australia. Desperate to avoid bankruptcy, Nauru agreed, and the Nauru Regional Reprocessing Center was established. This center, meant to house refugees, quickly became notorious for its harsh conditions, human rights violations, and abuse, drawing international condemnation from organizations like the United Nations and the International Criminal Court. After its economic downfall, Nauru continued to face severe struggles. In 2015, the government banned Facebook, claiming it was to protect citizens from pornography, but it was widely understood that this move was aimed at hiding the grim reality of the detention center. Additionally, Nauru only abolished the death penalty in 2016, reflecting the ongoing tensions and harsh policies in the country. Nauru's descent from a wealthy paradise to an open prison is a painful symbol of what can happen when resources run dry and poor decisions are made. Today, it stands as a reminder of the fragility of prosperity and the importance of human rights. The question remains, will Nauru ever escape its dark past and find hope again? The world watches, hoping for a brighter future for the island. And that's the incredible, tragic story of Nauru, an island that once stood as a shining example of wealth, only to crumble under the weight of its own riches. From phosphate boom to environmental devastation and human rights struggles, Nauru's journey is one that serves as a powerful lesson for us. But will this island ever find a way out of the darkness? Only time will tell. If you found this story as fascinating and eye-opening as we did, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from hidden corners of the world. Be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.